Hey YouTube, my name is Festus Ozigby and welcome to my show. So today we'll be talking about how to buy a real estate property. Recently I started looking for houses because I've been paying rent for the last 11 months, and even though I'm new to Ohio, I knew that it was beneficial for me to cut costs in areas where I could not increase my wage. So as I told you before, you can look to increase your earnings potential, and as a new college grad during the pandemic, I still shopped around because you can't make excuses, and I was able to get a $3,000 raise. However, everyone knows that a raise of that magnitude is not going to significantly change my lifestyle. So although I was able to find something, it wasn't enough to significantly change my lifestyle. So another way to change your lifestyle is through savings and finding other ways to cut costs. The great thing about this is that I'm a first-time home buyer, so I'm going to walk you through the process of what I did to buy my first home. And at the same time, I'm going to tell you how my lifestyle actually increased without me spending more. So the first step was look for a home and within my price range. So when I got with my real estate agent, he shopped around with me and we saw a couple of houses. But I started to get this question a couple of times. Hey, when are you gonna get pre-approved? When are you gonna get pre-approved? I only needed to be told that twice, and it was literally within the same day. And I said, okay, let me go and work with somebody to get pre-approved, which I did. Okay, I was pre-approved for $155,000 initially because that was the price of the home that I was looking to buy. So just because you get pre-approved at a certain price point does not mean that that is the only price point that you can look at. But I was pre-approved at that price point because that was the asking price on that home. And so they wanted to buy that home for its asking price and no more, no less, right? So when I got with this lender, the lenders simply put the asking price of the home. Now, things can change in the real estate market when you're looking to invest rather than just buy one primary residence. But for me, in that price range, that was okay to do, right? When I started shopping around for more and more homes that could have been potential investment properties as well, my real estate agent was persuading me to not put a price on the home with the pre-approval, but instead only put the address of the home and show that you are pre-approved, right? So when you have homes within that area, you can do that. When you start to get into that $200,000, $300,000 range, they want to know that you can afford it, and so you may have to put a price tag on that asking price, okay? But for me, I was able to just put the address. Why was I able to put the address, and why did I do that as well? Well, my real estate agent knew that I was looking to get a deal. And you want to work with somebody who's not in it just solely for the money, but also to benefit you. And so my real estate agent worked with me in order to find a deal that I was comfortable with. He knew that I was a saver and an investor, and that I would do right by my money. And in return, I also cut him a favor by also visiting properties, looking at properties initially by myself. So before I asked my real estate agent to go and see these properties with me and open the locks to all of these properties, I would go and see 10 to 15 properties by myself. I wasn't going inside, but I was inspecting the neighborhoods. I was looking at the exterior. I was looking at the backyards. I was just doing things by myself. It could seem a little creepy sometimes to be in the backyard of a vacant property, but those were the steps that I took. I took a whole bunch of pictures, and then I came back, wrote a little bit of notes here and there, and then I said, okay, these properties are off of my list, which saves my realtor gas, time, and energy. And then these properties are still on my list. Let's go in and look at these 3 rather than the 10 that I had before. We would look at them, we would find things that we liked, find things that we didn't like. And what really got me motivated was when I saw 2 homes that I would potentially want to buy. And then my uncle also sent me a duplex that I could potentially buy as well. And in that process, my realtor was about to go on vacation in the next 3 days. And he was even asking if I would be willing to use another realtor within his company or wait until he returns. I decided to get the ball rolling, meet up with him, and visit these 3 properties within a 1-day period. We were lucky enough to be able to visit all 3 within a 24-hour time frame. The duplex needed a little bit of work, but it was livable. It had somebody renting out the other side for $805 a month. And I figured that the cost at $165K, it was at $155, but I knew that with 4 buyers, it would definitely sell for more. And so I estimated $165. It probably will sell higher than that, but I felt like I would still make a decent savings from my $945 in rent, probably only paying about $400 a month in mortgage with somebody else paying the other half. Good start for an older duplex that would potentially need work in the future, but as I'm saving and earning money, that would be of no cost to me really in the next 5 years, right? And it was in the upcoming neighborhood, in the neighborhood selling for over $200,000. So I felt like that was definitely a nice duplex to invest in. But I've known with my price points and my negotiating skills and me wanting to get the best deals, having 4 investors already wanting a deal on that property, and me being so young, new, and not having the income to match that or put the down payment that I would want to make it super beneficial to me, I had to walk away from that deal knowing that it would go well over the asking price. And the highest I was willing to bid was $165. And then I ended up going with this 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath single family home, which was on the market at $149 and had recently dropped $5,000. It had updated appliances throughout the entire unit. The flooring was new. The basement was waterproofed. The seller was willing to work with me, and I automatically took $5,000 off the top. So not only did it just drop $5K, but then I took another $5,000 off the property. This property was already in contingency period, which means that somebody had already looked to buy the property. However, something fell through where they no longer went with the deal. It could have been too many fixes needed to be made, or that their financing didn't go through, and so they were unable to afford it at the price, which was probably $149 previously. This is also an upcoming neighborhood, but it's going to take a while for development to continue in the area. I've already seen some new houses being updated in the area, and most homes are selling for $140, $150, and even $160 within that price range. But then if you go a little further out west, you'll see homes selling for $170 to $220,000. So I knew that within the next 5 years, it being downtown as well in central location, I'll be able to get that home value up to a decent price point. And I don't know too much about home values yet, and that's why I didn't want to speculate on how much it would increase. But this home had new updated everything. The seller was willing to go down an additional $5,000, and I was able to get a real good interest rate. So let me go and talk about that. I went through the pre-approval process with a lender, and she was magnificent. She helped me put pre-approval offers on multiple homes. Again, when I was shopping for 10 to 15 different homes, and we were putting offers on this, and that. And I told you that 2 deals did not fall through because somebody outbidded me. And so I knew in the duplex I would also get outbidded because I'm looking for a great deal. And I'm not looking to just buy something to say that I have it. So although that duplex was a great deal, it may not be a great deal if I buy it for $180,000 to $200,000, which somebody else may be able to afford or pay for the deal. And when when sellers are going to you asking for your highest bidding price, when you lock into a deal, you are unable to go and put a bid onto another home. And so I knew that I would be able to get this home in an upcoming neighborhood where people aren't really looking yet for the price that I'm looking for, rather than bid against other people and increase the seller's profit potential rather than increasing my own pockets. That is not the deal that I wanted to be a part of. And so I backed out of that, knowing that I had already lost 2 initial bets and I didn't want to lose the potential of getting a single family home. And the question that I was asked was, why not pay $145 for the home? Because it was listed at $145, it just went down $5,000. And I said, well, the reason why I want to pay $140 is because although there's updated appliances and this and that, I know that if I want to be a successful investor, I know if I want to be financially smart with money, I know that although I was pre-approved for $155 and it's $145, if I can get it down to $140, that's more money in my pocket. Over a 30-year period, I will potentially earn so much more, save so much more just by cutting my expenses down $5,000. For every $5,000, you are potentially saving $20 a month in your mortgage. And so to cut it down $5,000, I just saved myself $20 a month over the course of a 30-year period, which is fantastic. And that was just by saying, I want this home for $5,000 less. Now, if somebody had came in and offered $140 as well, I would have went for the asking price. But you want to make sure that although you are looking for that dream home, it's a beautiful home. It is literally a dream home for me, something that I couldn't have imagined as a child growing up. 3 beds, 1.5 bath. It's bigger than what I need, but it's affordable. It's less than what I'm paying now, and I'm getting it for this kind of price, $140K. After doing my inspections, I noticed that the foundation needed some support. We asked for steel beams. Instead, they gave us carbon fiber straps. The bathroom needed to be ventilating out rather than ventilating into the attic. They were willing to do that as well. The home needed carbon monoxide detectors. They were able to install that. The chimney needed a cap. They were able to install that. A great thing is that they put a sump pump in the basement. However, it was not attached to every vent pipe within the basement, and that would cost $7,000 to get done. I was just happy to have the sump pump, so I did not ask them to attach another $7,000 cost to their expenses already, knowing that they probably would have said I was asking for too much anyway, and knowing that it's not required for them to even have a sump pump. I was just happy to have it and already have a waterproof basement. So they were willing to put the carbon fiber straps in order to support the foundation in the basement. They were willing to attach carbon monoxide detectors, which they should have already had. They were willing to install a brand new AC, which they should have already had. And they were willing to vent out the bathroom and put a chimney cap on the chimney. And so I was good with all of those requests. And then I was also given a $3,000 credit applied to my closing costs due to the ground needing work out in the exterior of the unit, because there was a tree uprooting the pavement, which was also penetrating that basement, which caused the foundation wall to sink inward a little bit, more than 1.5 inches. And so when I got that structural engineer, they definitely said that although it does not need work now, and it probably won't for a couple of years, if I got that steel beam, the I-beams in now, it would definitely benefit the home. It could only benefit the home. And so the seller was willing to put carbon fiber straps instead. I Googled it. I did a little bit of research on it. I found that that is more commonly used in today's market, and it actually is stronger than the I-beams. So that was a great benefit to me, having those put in, it being cheaper, it being cost effective, and the seller being willing to put that in. All right. Not only did I get $5,000 off the price of the home, I got the $3,000 credit, so I can now put that towards the landscaping of the home, and I'll be able to cut that tree down. It is the middle of winter, so luckily we were able to look at the roofing beforehand, before it started to snow and everything. And so I believe I really did get a good deal on this. I do not have a detached garage, but I do have a an assigned parking spot with a concrete slab where I can put my car. And so I plan to add a detached garage to the unit. I also plan to add fencing to the backyard. I have a very big backyard, and I believe I made the right choice going with this investment. I do plan to get a roommate. When I rented this unit out, I did not get a roommate. Why didn't I get a roommate? I only looked at professionals, young professionals, as well as college students, and I did not get the quality roommate that I was looking for. And so for my own comfortability, I decided to not go forward with having a roommate. And so when I move into this new unit, it being bigger, it being more spacious, it being beautiful, it having a private bedroom on the first floor, and me being able to live upstairs, it allows me for more privacy. It allows me to do what I want to do, and even not feel as though I have a roommate present in the home. And the only time that the roommate would come upstairs is to either use the bathroom shower, because there is a half bath downstairs where they can use the toilet anytime they want. And so I say all of this to say that in the process of looking to the in the process of looking for a home, I did not see the value in paying full price for the home, although it is sometimes necessary and sometimes the best case scenario. I looked at markets where one, it was cheaper markets, so not everybody was looking at those type of homes, and I was using tactics that not everybody would use, especially when they go higher in prices, 200,000, 300,000. They want to see those numbers, right? So I was just putting an address on the pre-approval and then telling them what I was willing to pay, and they were accepting those offers, right? And so I missed out on a couple of homes to get this deal, and now my mortgage will be $245 less than what I'm already paying, and I can use that to generate more income in the future, whether it's through the stock market or through real estate. Another thing that I wanted to lay out is, why was it necessary to just save that $20 a month? Why was it necessary to potentially lose a home by asking for a $5,000 rejection off the front without having an inspection, without having anything done? It was necessary because I'm a big stock market guy. You've seen my stock portfolio on this channel. You've seen how much money I can make in the stock market. 30% gains in 1 year. Obviously, it's not always like that, but I normally average 11 to 15% gains every single year, and I have done that consistently for a 5-year period now. And so making 30% gains this year only shows that I have consistently made over 11% gains in the last 5 years, okay? And so I was watching somebody else's YouTube channel and noticed that they did not invest in any rental properties unless it made a 10% return, okay? I put $14,000 down on this property. I'm going to be all in $18,000, okay? From a rental that I'm paying $945 to going and paying under $700 a month will save me $245. That is not quite a 10% return on my money. Maybe it is. Let me find out real quick. 18,000. Let me see. 245 divided by 18,000 times 100 divided by 10. That's a 13% return on your money, actually. It's pretty good. So 245 over the course of a year. 245 times 12, 2,940. Put that over a 10-year period, that's almost $30,000. So yeah, it's actually a good return on my money to buy this home. It's saving me $245 a month. I'm gonna get a roommate, which I could have done in a rental unit as well. But the biggest benefit to this was the reason why I brought up the lender in the first place was because although they helped me get the property that I was looking for, the interest rate that they provided me was 3.0%. Me being a savvy tech guy and knowing the market, I said that was too high a month and a half ago. And they initially offered 3.1. They came back at 3.0. They started to go over my terms. They started to talk to me for over an hour. And they said that I can buy points. This was the first time I heard of that, and I'll save that for a different video. But when I went to buy the point for $1,300, they only took 0.12% off of the percentage of the property value, putting me at 2.85%. I felt that, one, I was being ripped off. It was unreasonable. And I knew that the market was around 2.75%. So not only did they want me to pay for a point that was only half of a real point, because as I Googled it, I realized that a point is normally 0.25%. So about a quarter of 1 point. And so I was going to pay 1% of the home value to only get 0.12% of a point rather than 0.25% of a point. And that's when I knew that I needed to shop around. I kept talking about shopping around, looking for a better interest rate. And my uncle finally gave me his loan officer, and he sent me back a rate of 2.625%. Right then and there, no questions asked, I decided to go with that. I did let my original lender know, because they had worked with me for half the year, for a total of 6 months, and they have gave me those pre-approvals within the 24-hour time frame, and they have constantly been working with me to find a home. But I just knew that I was getting ripped off with the percentages. I was getting ripped off with the point system that they had in place, and it just wasn't right for me. And I just knew, although you were working with me for 6 months, I'm investing 30 years of my life potentially just into the mortgage of this home, and you are not offering me what I need in order to be successful. And so I decided to go with someone else who was willing to pay less. And they actually came back around and said that they would offer the same rate of 2.625%. And so I just looked at them as if I was actually a little offended and hurt at the same time, because I was working with these people. You get a little emotionally invested. You want them to make money as well as you are making money, because they work with you for so long. But literally from 3% to buying a point for $1,300 to get a 2.85%, to somebody else offering me 2.625%, and then you being willing to match that without me having to buy points, without me having to put any additional money down. You were willing to match that immediately as soon as someone else put that offer on the table. And so that was super offensive to me. And they must have just assumed that I would cave and take the deal, because I was on a short time frame to close. So I initially got into contract on December 10th of 2020, and I'm supposed to close January 6th of 2021. So it was a very, very short time frame to close. However, I had all my documents in order. I was ready to go. There's 2 major holidays in between, but that didn't stop us from getting those inspections done, getting a re-inspection done, getting a sewer inspection done, getting all of these inspections done, taking our time to look at what the home needs and getting that to the seller and seeing what they're willing to rectify. And so they accepted our remedy offer. They accepted everything that I asked to be remedied, and we're going forward with buying this home. And I'm super, super excited to show you that home as soon as we close. And that is how my process went in buying a home. So I just went through how many homes I looked at, what I did before asking my real estate agent to show me the inside. I would shop around the home. You can't always do that. I only did that on homes that were on the market for a significantly long period of time. And when I say significantly long, 10 or more days on the market, I can look around that home first before asking my realtor to then go and show me the home. So there was homes that were on the market for 15 days. This home in particular that I bought was only on the market for 15 days. It was already in contract, but the contract had come off. And so we were able to go and see that home. And immediately when I saw it, I loved it. My realtor knew that I loved it. And eventually, instead of going with the duplex, I decided to go with that home instead. And I'm super happy on the decision. I was able to get some money off, was able to get my problems rectified, and we'll be able to go into 2021 as home owners. No rent life. Hashtag no rent life. So that was my process into buying a property. Save your realtor money by looking at it first when you can. Work with people who not only are efficient and effective at their job, but are also looking at your best interests. And when they stop looking out for your best interests, you got to find somebody who will, because this is a big decision to make, a 30-year decision to make, and you want to make the right one. So this wasn't necessarily an investment property yet. It will be, because I don't plan on living there forever. It is an amazing home. I could live in there forever, but my real goal is to live in it for 1 or 2 years while it is still being rented out on the first floor and I am living on the second floor. Save money, reinvest into another property, and then potentially after that property starts to earn more money as an investment, whether it's a single home or a duplex, I would then save money to buy another property. And this property, the third property, I would potentially either use that as an investment property or move in to that one as well, and potentially have somebody rent that one out as well while living with me, unless I have a family or something like that within the next 2 to 3 years. I would definitely continue to have a roommate in order to build more wealth and income and cash flow. So in the next 2 to 3 years, the property that I'm buying now will have so much more money in equity within the home. I want to get to 20% of equity in all of my homes. Right now, this home will be at 10%. And so it could take 5 to 7 years to get up to 20% equity in that home. But when I have somebody else paying for the home itself, I'm fine waiting. But when I get 20% in all of my homes, I will take anything over that 20% and take the cash out, use that to buy more properties, and then I'll keep all my homes at a good rate of 20%, and then let that go until it's all paid off. And that is my goal, that is my strategy. That's for another video, how I go more in depth when I learn more about it and continue to look at more properties and real estate investments. So thank you all for listening to my story. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day to understand what the process I went through in order to get this home. And thank you all for watching my videos, subscribing, liking, commenting, and doing all of that stuff. I hope you found my story interesting and entertaining. I'm a young man trying to do this, looking around, putting my best foot forward to get things done. And you know, we're making it happen. So this fire thing is super exciting, and we're just gonna keep going on from here. So stay tuned. 2021 is a whole new ball game. Let's get to the bag.